Alright, guys, so let's start with our today's podcast. I hope my voice is audible and screen is visible clearly. If there are any issues, you can drop in the chat or you can even unmute yourself and speak up. Alright, so today, like here we are with Campus Placements podcast, fueling your placement aspirations with expert insights. Right. My name is Himanshu and currently I am software engineer at Stetig Consulting, which is a Pune-based company. And this podcast is brought to you by DevCrusade. So a little bit about DevCrusade. So we are a community promoting self-study, which gives software engineers a roadmap to achieve expertise in their interested domain through collaborative learning. You can connect with us on LinkedIn. We are there on LinkedIn, and you can follow various like paths and programs which are provided by us. You can have a look at that. All right. So moving to our guest today, so we have Hazikuddin Ansari, who is software engineer at Persistent. So hi Hazik, welcome to the meet, welcome to the podcast, and thank you for joining us today.
Good afternoon, Himanshu. Thank you for the introduction.
Yeah, right. So, without any further ado, let's start with our questions, Hazik. So, there were like we previously floated a Google form in which we got various responses, various questions from students. So, I will be asking you those questions, and you can just answer those and guide us in this whole podcast.
Sure.
Yeah, right. So let's start. All right. So, guys, so for your information, all of you, if you know that Persistent generally hires through Martian internship program. So, firstly, there is filtration of students for that Martian internship program, and then there is again a little bit of filtration in the full-time hiring, right? So, let's go to the first question, Hazik. So, here is the first one. What is Martian internship? What is the selection criteria for that internship?
Okay, so Martian, as you said, it's generally a program to hire the fresher. We are called a GEMS, graduate engineering, something along the line. But for me, I guess I was selected for the Martian in mid of 2022. It was basically for the selection criteria MCAT style exam. So basic MCQs in aptitude, some English comprehension, some fundamentals of CS like computer networks, DBMS, and some simple string related question, I guess. In the Martian program itself, so we were provided some resource for the fundamentals again, the computer network, OS, DBMS, and a language of our choice. So I guess there are three choices: Java, C++, and Python. So basically, what they're trying to do is trying to engage you, and through providing you resources, they further test you. So at the end of the Martian, again you have to go through an MCAT style examination. Same the MCQ for the CN fundamentals for aptitude and English comprehension, which is followed by some technical interviews and so on.
All right. So we did have a look at what like basic concepts or what basic syllabus is covered. So that next like follow-up question is what are the rounds involved in Martian internship? Like I think there are some interviews and also like that stuff scheduled in
Yes,
the
yes.
internship selection process, right?
Yeah. At the end of the Martian program, for me there was two interviews scheduled. Both were in online mode, L1 and L2. So the both are of, I will say, in they are trying to test you, right? They don't want to reject you outright. They at least want to know that at least you have learned something through the Martian. In the first interview, it was, I guess, around 45 minutes. The interview started with basic introduction, some questions on DBMS, some OS concepts, some the CN concepts. It ended with a simple string question, which I have to give the first logic and then had to implement in chat, not any ID. As for the second, the L2 round, it was more of implementation part. The interview asked me to implement a W linked list, which was then followed by some behavioral questions. I guess if you search on Geek for Geek for Martian interview questions, you can find some similar questions which have been previously asked. That can be helpful.
All right. So after the internship completion, like there are two technical rounds, we can say L1 and L2. And
Hmm.
after that, there is any managerial or HR round as well, or that's it. Those are the two rounds.
So at the end of the second L2 interview, the candidates were shortlisted and they had to be present in the office location for us. I guess that is ID Park, Gargi office for persistent. The manager or HR round, it was basically a discussion on the resume and what I have done till now. It was not something I'd say that the selection criteria, there was no such thing. They was just trying to discuss what I have done and what I have to show for myself. Yeah,
All
and that
right.
was the last part.
Okay. So, like, can you give us any statistics like how many people were there for the first L1 round and how many were finally selected after the HR round, if there are any like rough statistics?
So I don't have exactly this statistic, but if you are in the Martian program, you have higher chances of clearing the interviews, right? So in the interviews, they are not trying to outright reject you. As I said, they're just trying to judge you that if you have given some task, you can complete it, you can learn from it. Yeah. As for the hiring statistic, I guess in my batch, around 1,500 candidates were selected all over the India. In finals, I guess around 600 something are have job offers.
All
Yeah,
right. Fine. Okay. So I think there is like around 60% hiring rate, right?
yeah, yeah.
Means on among like 10 people, six will be hired for full time. We can say like that. All right, fine. So let's go to the next question. And I think there are some doubts in the chat section. So we will like go to that doubts later on. Let's just first
Sure.
complete our this thing. Right. So uh, let's go on the like selection process for full time at Persistent after Martian internship completion. So right, you did tell about the L1 and L2 and all those things. So let's like change this question a little bit. I will update this question. So what can you tell the students can prepare themselves well for these type of interviews, L1 and L2? So what will be a good path we can say how they can prepare well for these interviews?
So for any process in Martian, I guess they provide you with adequate resources, right? They will give you what is the general plan for the process, what are their parts, and the resources that they give are more than enough for you to get an idea. So as for the questions, again, go through some previous interview experiences. I guess you can find them on Geek for Geek, and I guess in the lead code discussion also you can find such previous questions. For the coding part, I guess if you have a good command on strings and array, you can clear the basic interview for the coding part. Also, the fundamental will be really good to have.
All right. Yeah, that's right. So for coding, what you will say, like there is like certain level of coding. For example, if a person has around 2 stars on CodeChef or 3 stars, so we can say that he will be able to crack the coding rounds easily. Can we compare those two things?
Yeah, yeah, sure. See, I cannot say the star thing for myself, right? I have not done much of the CP part, but if you have genuinely done the part for the CP, I guess you can easily crack the interview.
All right, fine. Yeah. So let's move to the next one. So we will go into little details of the interview. So what questions were asked in like full-time conversion interview? What exact questions were there? If you can tell them, they will get an idea of how like what is the level of questions which are asked in the interview generally.
So again, first, if you have to submit your resume, right? So whatever you have put on the resume, have the knowledge to back it up. So if you have put some extra, yeah, the optional subjects or optional courses that you have took, any certification that you have took, just read it through what you have done or what you have difficulty you have faced. So you have to just back it up anything that you have put in the resume. Along with these, I guess some basic concepts from CN, some OSI layers concepts for OS, some paging algorithms. For DBMS, have a general knowledge of basic queries, some ACID principles. I think you can find these questions for Geek. You can find all the fundamental questions that you need to read. I guess 20 questions from each will be enough. For the coding part, as I've said, string and array, if just go through as many questions as you can, right? You don't have to give the perfect implementation, but at least you should be able to provide a logic of how you will tackle the problem or if there is a bigger problem, how you'll break it into parts so that you can at least approach it.
All right, yeah. So, Hazik, we spoke about the like resume and all those stuff. So, let's go to that part a little bit. So, what you will suggest that what can be a like general flow and ideal flow of resume? What things are required? What one should not have in the resume? If you can comment on that.
Yeah, so general rule of thumb is at least the your resume should be of only one page, right? One sided, right? Keep it clean. You don't have to go with the Canva templates of making it any fancy. There are some simple resume editors on the online. I guess one is Latex editor, one is Novo resume. You just have to simply provide your what your experience is, right? Don't make it any fancy for the ATS part, right? It try to extract the any text that is present on your resume. If you go through any fancy templates from the Canva, it will be harder for the ATS to extract the information. So try to keep it simple. No any different colorings, no images. Keep it black and white. Keep proper white spacing. As for the content, as we are freshers, we don't have much to put in part of the experience. So try putting, let's say, three projects. Again, if you're trying to put some projects, have the knowledge to back it up. If you have done any other extracurricular activities, any extra courses, optional courses, any certification, put that there. And just highlight your skills. You don't have to put everything. Let's say if you have tried some JS, don't just put it there. If you are confident in answering this question, put it on the resume. It doesn't have to just fill the page, right? If even if you're putting just one language, if you can back it up, that's good enough for the resume.
All right. So I hope you guys are noting it down various websites which Hazik told us. And there is one more point which I would like to add that nowadays that ATS thing is coming up, right? That's applicant tracking system, right? So what they do is like there are number of people are like applying on any particular job. So for example, thousands of people are applying on only one position. So the HRs and all those like employees there can't go through all the resumes, right? So they are having their ATS applicant tracking system, and for that your resume should be of particular format. And to check your ATS score, there are a number of websites available, so you can go to those websites and check your ATS score, in which part your resume is lagging behind, where you can improve certain parts and all, right? So that is one important thing, you can check that out, right? So Hazik, let's move to the next question. So do tell us that how is the life at Persistent, and what work do you do as a software engineer at Persistent?
Sure. So my team knows that I'm a fresher, right? So they don't force you from the day one to work. I work as a software developer in intelligence automation. That's my business unit. So in intelligence automation, I currently am certified in an Appian tool. It is a low tool that my team works with. It works in business process automation, robotic process automation, some document processing. Mainly, we focus on the healthcare and the banking financial clients. So for now, I last month only I cleared the certification. It is a proctored exam. Along with this, I've worked on some proof of concepts, some basic applications to prove my skills. Right now, I'm going through that POCs only.
All right, fine. So that's how the thing. And you are currently located in Pune, right? Your office is in Pune.
Yeah, Pune Hinjewadi.
Okay, and like it's Persistent's own like whole building, or there is one floor or something?
So in Hinjewadi, Persistent have three offices, right? For one is Vedas, one is Persistent Ramanujan. It is basically the Persistent University where most of the fresher will be trained, at least for the 2 months. And there's one more in Persistent Blue Ridge. So yeah, they have their own buildings. A
All
lot
right.
of them actually.
Okay, okay. And like nowadays there is like increasing trend of doing remote work. Like people are choosing work from home more. Even freshers are going to that side. So if you have any idea, like is Persistent flexible? Like do they allow the freshers to go for work from home, or there is work from office completely?
Yeah, Persistent works on the hybrid mode, right? So I guess 2 days is mandatory to work from office. That is your nearest office. So you can talk it with your manager to change the office locations and all, but persistent mostly work on hybrid. You don't have to be present every day, but again that depends on your manager. As for the working hours, persistent is flexible. The punch in and punch out time is what is calculated. So there's no you have to be present at 9 or you have to be present at 10. If you're coming in late, you have to just manage your working hours. So persistent is pretty flexible in the working environment type.
All right, all right. So I think firstly, like the persistent has their Martian internship, and after that internship there is another internship, I think, and after that there is full time joining. Is it right?
Yes,
Or after
yes.
Martian internship it's directly full time?
No, no. After Martian, there is the 6 month program, the GEMS.
Okay,
So in the GEMS, basically you are assigned a track. Obviously, you will be asked your priorities regarding the tracks. The tracks were Java, C Sharp, C++, Python, React, Salesforce. You will be the first month of the training is basically fundamentals, English comprehension, again, Git. So these are covered in the first month. After that, you will be given your training according to your track. So again, the resources are ample amount of time. The resources are quite good. The trainer are quite good, and you will be given enough tries to clear the assessments.
all right. So is there any filtering after the like GEMS program? Like a few people are being taken out from the full time or something like that, or all the students are converted to full time after the GEMS one?
No, no. After the GEMS one, you will given three chances for the assessment, right? So these are enough to clear. Though the assessment are not something out of the ordinary. They are from within the resources from the training. You will be have for let's say I was trained in Java and .NET both. So for Java, a basic simple program for Java, one simple project in Spring Boot, and one in HTML and CSS. Along with this, some MCQs again the MCAT style, some on the fundamentals on whatever you have been trained. So the training is enough to clear this. So if you have studied through the program, it is no issue for you to clear the examination.
All right. So as you spoke about AMCAT, so guys, like AMCAT is we can say a platform where the students are assessed. So I think before the like Martian internship selection and after like when they are selecting for the GEMS and all, so they are having both their exams on AMCAT itself, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
So
for the GEMS part, they have their own platform, which eBox I believe.
okay. Okay, so you guys can go through that AMCAT website. There are like number of resources available, and they are also having sample question sets and problem set, and also you can practice those question sets and all before appearing for the Martian internship, right? Before appearing for the selection of that thing, right? So Hazik, there is one more question which is like again asked a lot. Can you give us a general roadmap for placement preparation which includes aptitude coding and HR rounds? Like how one has to prepare for all of these in a certain roadmap in a certain path.
So I believe so. There is this website, Tech Interview Handbook. You can go through this. Basically, it breakdowns all the processes that generally involves in the hiring process. But if you are going through on campus, so you are guaranteed to have at least a try for the process, right? So first for the aptitude, I believe we have something like CRT in YCC, recruitment training, right? So in which the aptitude was pretty much covered. Aside from these, for aptitude, I will say IndiaBix is a website where you can practice questions. So if you want to go deeper, so I guess on YouTube you can follow some CAT preparation YouTube channels for aptitude, but you don't need to be pretty good at it. You have just to solve the basic or recurring questions to clear the filtering round. Along with these, I guess for the fundamentals, if you give each subject a week, that would be enough. You can again follow Geek for Geek or any other online YouTube channels for that. Aside from these, I guess you have to mainly focus on DSA, your projects. For DSA, I guess a neat code will be there. Try to, yeah, don't focus only on increasing your star or your daily hits, right, on the lead code. Try to focus on your understanding of the concept. Through, if you're stuck in array, try to explore as many questions as you can before moving forward. So from the day, don't try to try to tackle all the any. Let's say that you're starting today. Don't think of how you're going to solve the binary question, right? Start from array, try to go deep into it. Once you feel comfortable, try to move up. So you don't need a perfect resource, perfect plan to start. Just start somewhere and try to go deep into it. And I guess the one of the advantage of being in a offline mode, you can try mock interviews with your peers, and yeah, that would be good for motivation also, right? Form groups. Yeah, DevCrusade has a community, right? So yeah, try to form groups and communities and take daily updates and share resources, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty like elaborative. All right, so let's move to the next question. So we spoke a little bit about competitive programming and DSA. So let's go into that a little bit deeper. Should one focus more on competitive coding or mastering data structures and algorithms with like keeping placements in mind? So
I
what
guess
will you
they
say on
both
this?
go, yeah, they both go hand in hand, right? So if you are good enough in DSA, you can start with the CP, and if you have been doing CP for some time, I guess you have basic understanding of the DSAs. So if you are starting with somewhere, start mastering some DSA concepts, and then by topic wise, you can start the questions. In lead code, you have tags for each data structure. So start from DSA and then go to CP. CP is basically a way of assessing your knowledge in DSA. So in CP, you are solving question in time-bound constraint. So that would be helpful in your interview rounds. But again, DSA is the basic building blocks that you will need.
All right. So, speaking about this one, like I've seen a general trend that generally in on-campus placements, companies are having scenario-based questions or CP type of questions in their coding rounds, and then in the interview they are asking like DSA sort of questions, basic DSA ones. So that is a general trend which I have seen. So you guys can focus on like both of them, have a little bit of mastery in both of them, and you will be good to go. All right. So there is another question. Is it more important to have strong developmental skills or excellent coding abilities for securing placements?
Yeah, for the placement, you will need the coding skills, but for the work that you are going to do, you will need the development part. So I guess only coding skill may get you a job, but after that you may struggle. So see, in this time in this market, try to explore as much as you can. Right, do a little bit of some simple dev project. Maybe it can be a CRUD operations, some simple to-do list, but try as much as you can. Focus on the coding skill because that will definitely help you. But the web development part is what will set you apart in some forums like I guess Developers India in Reddit, you can see some experienced person, maybe 7 years of experience in the field. They will be asking some roadmap for the DSA. It's not that they don't have the knowledge, but the competitive programming is not in any way related to what you will generally do in the work. So if you want to get into the field, CP is the way. But if you want to stay here, the development will be your way.
All right. So that's pretty much clear set. All right, guys. So we have our own Insta channel as well. So Anup will be dropping the Insta link. There is, I think, some network issue from my side. I will rejoin in a minute. Hazi, please give me a minute.
Yeah, sure.
All right. So hi everyone. I'm back. Hi Azik. Okay. So
Yeah.
let's continue with our discussion. All right. So we did talk about development and all that stuff, right? So guys, for clearing the rounds, you will need to have good coding skills, That's true for sure. And to make your life easier after joining in the full time, you have to have good developmental skills as well. So both are important to summarize that one. All right. So let's move to the next question. Uh, how, like Hazik, so this is the one question. How is hiring different for 5 to 6 LPA companies and 10 plus LPA companies? So if you can comment on that.
Yeah, I guess I will be part of the former group, but for 5 to 6 LPA, I guess the company has some leeway. Yeah, so they want some candidate who can understand, who can learn, right? They're expecting to give you some training, then join the workforce. But for the 10 to 15 LPA, let's say, they want some employees that can directly join the workforce, that from day one that they can contribute. So for the, if you're going for a higher package, I will try to say that pick some niche part of the software industry. Don't be just a backend developer. Try to be, let's say, a Django developer. Try to specialize in something. Try to build something in that. So you have to just set yourself apart that you're expert in something. Uh, Aside from this, the hiring part for the most part will be similar. Again, the filtering part, the interview. As I said, the for the higher package, you will be expected to know a lot. You will be expected that you have to show that in this field you are not just here for the money. You're trying to explore something. You're trying to learn, continuously learn. And if in the face of any difficulties and problem, you will take a step back, analyze the problem, break it down, and move towards it. So that will be main differentiating part in the higher package. They will be more expecting from you that you you can implement something, right? For the low package or the 5 6 LPA, they are trying to just get a candidate who they can work with, who they can train in any technology that they want.
All right. Yeah, that's true. Okay, so guys, we are having a couple of more questions remaining. So if you have any doubts, you can drop in the chat, and later on we will tackle those. Right. So Hazik, here is the next question, which is the most important question. So how to maintain consistency in placement preparation, also considering the current market scenario.
Yeah, you have to be consistent, right? So my first point is try to avoid motivation, right? So I've seen some of my colleagues, they try to get a motivational video first thing in the morning. The motivation will fade. So you have to build a habit. Try to start small. Maybe just try to read a problem every day. After a week, try to solve one easy problem. You have to build a habit to be consistent. And another important thing is have a buddy. You can find many places where you can find like-minded people that are trying to learn the same thing. In college, you can find your group, maybe join a community. From there, try to regularly, let's say, weekly update that, hey, I have learned this, I'm working on such and such project. So this gives you a basic understanding that what others are doing. There may be time that maybe you are lagging behind, but that's all right. Just be consistent, give regular effort. That will help you a lot in the long way.
All right. So Hazik here spoke about being consistent, right? So there is one like important thing in consistency. If you are having certain things planned out, so it helps us in being consistent, right? So here in our community, we have our own website, and we are running various programs which are related to coding and development as well. And there we have daily tasks, and you guys have to complete those tasks, and you have to mark like that as completed and all. In that sort of way, you can remain consistent. So do check out our website devcrusade.in. Anup will drop the link in chat, and you can even apply for our programs as well, right? So Hazik, speaking about the current market scenario, so if you read that news that around 36% of IIT Bombay students are
I
yet to be
Bombay.
placed, right? So that is
Yeah.
literally one student among three, right? So the condition is not good, guys. The market scenario is like it's in recession completely, right? So you have to remain consistent and have discipline, right? So let's move to our last question, Hazik, today's last question. So give any general tips and tricks to crack placement, to crack interviews and all. So any general advice from you to all the freshers, upcoming final year students?
So don't try to run behind each new trend. So just start, as I said, just start small. Have a perfect understanding of what you want. Let's say at the end of 6 months. At the end of 6 months, let's say you want to have ability to create a website, full backend and front end. Maybe try to connect with the database. So have a general understanding of where you want to go. Don't wait for perfect resources. Just start somewhere. If you have enough knowledge to correct yourself, let's say if you have enough knowledge in Python that you can understand at least what is going on in the code, then that's good enough to start. You don't need to have every little detail planned out. Start somewhere, try to go deep in it. And as for the resources, there are plenty of resources available for every language. For if you say, let's say, for any language you want specific resource, you can go through roadmap.sh. You can find plenty of resources on GitHub. And as for the if you want what is expected from you in the interview, again the lead code discussion is good. For general news, I would say for Reddit, the programming buddies, programming pals, developers India, side project, these are good enough. And for the preparation, don't take too much pressure on yourself, right? Don't worry if AI is going to take your job or not. First get a job, try to explore something. First take a simplest roadmap that you can, and just work each and every step, one step at a time.
Yeah. So that's pretty much sums it up our podcast, right, guys? So let's go to the questions. Uh, okay. So there is one question: is there any scope for data analytics in persistent?
For data analytics, I have to cross check it, but you can go on the persistent website on the careers page. You can look through that. But for data analytics, yeah, I have to cross check it.
All right.
There are business units for BFSI, and CMTs are there. So yeah, Persistent serves a large clientele, right? So you can go through the official website. There are careers, there are client success stories. So you can look through that.
Yeah, right. So, Hazik, I heard that even the Indian Railways website is supported by Persistent. Is it correct, or if you have any idea about it?
No, I have to cross check that.
Yeah, I think the whole backend and whole website is supported by Persistent or something.
Yeah,
So that's
Persistent is one of the emerging
yeah,
companies, I would say. Yeah, we have doubled in our employee size. Currently, 33 years plus experience. We have 23,000 plus employees in 21 countries, I guess. So yeah, that's good,
yeah,
I think.
yeah, right. Okay, so there is one more point which I would like to add here. I think if any of the freshers, after having some years of experience, if they want to do masters, so Persistent economically helps
Yeah.
those students to do masters. Are you do you have any idea about that, Hasi?
Yeah, so I believe it's some from VIT. I have to cross check the institute that they are tied up with. But yes, they in the interview I was made aware of that if going forward you want to pursue a masters, that you can apply through Persistent, and there's some simple rules, and yeah, again some contracts that you have to sign. But yeah, Persistent allows that. And also they're pretty on the for the on-sites, like say for my business automation that I'm the part of business unit. So if you have, let's say, stayed 2 3 years, so you get chances for on-site. Like for me, there's Singapore. Some of my seniors are currently working in Canada, UK, US. Yeah.
All right, all right. So there is one question that how can one apply for Martian internship program? Right. So,
I guess
guys, yeah, Hazik, would you like to take that? Sure.
yeah, Martian comes through on campus,
Yeah,
right?
it's on campus,
Yeah.
guys. So if Persistent is coming at your college yearly, each year they are coming into your college, so they will you will definitely have a chance to sit for the Martian internship selection competition and all that. You can have that. All right. So, guys, let's have questions. If there are any questions, you can drop in the chat. Anup, I guess I rejoined the call, so I skipped the previous questions. If you can copy paste those in the chat as well, it will be good.
So I guess Harivansh has one question: how to apply for internship? So I've been pretty much part of the persistent from the start. So I haven't much dwelled into that, but there are pretty much good websites. Indeed is there, Glassdoor is there. For startups, there is Angel List, and I did find some resource I will share with Himanshu. Try to go through the company's career page as much as you can. So yeah,
Yeah, guys. So applying off campus is mostly going through the careers page of companies, and second one is LinkedIn, right? So that's how you
yeah.
can tackle those things. All right. So I think there was one previous question. How can we create an ATS friendly resume? So
Yeah,
yeah,
as I've said, there's some websites online, Novo Resume and Latex Editor. I will share the link with you, Himanshu.
yeah, sure, guys. You can even note down the website names. I will share forward those links to you as well. All right. So are there any questions anymore, guys?
Yeah, Overleaf is one, yes.
Okay.
I guess Overleafs have some templates also that you can follow.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that I used to do was that I will just follow some settled, I'd say, experienced person in LinkedIn and just try to stalk their resume and all.
Yeah,
Try to
that's
gauge that, yeah.
yeah. Okay. All right, guys. Any more questions from your side? Okay. Okay. So
Yeah,
Sneha has one question. How much time should DSA ideally take?
everyone has different time frame, I would say, but just try to allocate each data structure a time. Let's say give 2 weeks for, if you're starting out, try to allocate times for each data structure. Don't try to blindly follow those timestamp. Try to understand, and once you have started, explore as much as you can, different types of question, different patterns. Once you feel comfortable, then go ahead with it. I'd say if you're giving 2 hours every day, 6 months can be more than enough to be really good at it.
All right. So Sneha, once again, I would like to tell that if you go to devcrusade.in website, so we are having exactly 6 months program for DSA, in which we are starting with arrays and strings and ending at the most advanced level of dynamic programming, trees and graphs and all that. So you can surely apply for that devcrusade.in program, and you can have a look at it. Right. Okay. What are the projects we have to build?
See, when an interviews look at a project, he basically wants to understand that why did you build it. So if there is any problem that you are facing, if there is any issue, it doesn't have to be a complex project, right? So for me, one of the project that I've done was the basic Chrome extension that used to fetch from the APIs and convert some dates and all. So if there is any project, try to attach a story with it. It doesn't have to be unique, it doesn't have to be the best out there. So just present in a way that you can show that there is this problem, I was facing such and such that problem, I tried to break it down in some simple task and I implemented it. Again, as I've said, try to explore as much technology as you can, so that, let's say that you have made a project in Flask, so you can justify that. You can justify the reason behind your project, the technologies that are used for the project.
All right, that's right. Okay, guys. Any more questions? Anyone?
Welcome, Shreya.
All right.
For project, I guess on GitHub there is build your own X. So from version systems, from simple games, you can find the GitHub link in there. And also from time to time, Free Code Camp YouTube channel also puts a complete course for a basic website for a simple 2D game. You can also check out that.
Yeah, free code camp generally has like their special one shot videos. So in 8
Yeah.
to 10 hours they will complete the completely like the basics of any certain stack. So you can even watch their backend one shot video. So I did that just before my interview. Right, so I had practiced, I was just revisioning and all, so that's
Yeah.
different part. Okay. Alright, so I think there are no more questions, Hazik. So if anyone of you has any questions, I will drop Hazik's LinkedIn in our WhatsApp group, DevCrusade's updates group, and you can ping him on LinkedIn as well. Alright,
Yes.
so thank you, Hazik. Thank you, everyone. And
Yeah.
thank you
Thank you
for,
for having me.
yeah, sure. Alright, okay.
Yeah.
Yes, bye.
Bye.